Hello everyone, this is Planckera, and welcome to my universe. So, let's see, last time... Well, what did I do last time? I did a bunch of stuff, but Krita herself has now been drawn, so now I'm just trying to catch the background up and get all that where I want it to be. And the big thing that I've been wondering is... Can I get away with just leaving some of these brighter spots, you know, how she's outlined in brighter colors, only on her, and leave the background with some of these darker shapes and less outlines? I'm not sure. But I just remember trying to outline the sun. I think I even still have those layers so I can check them again. And I don't know, I'm just not sure if I like it. Like over here, I think is the other one. Yeah. It's like, I just don't know if I like it as much. Yeah, it's just one of those things where art is hard, and sometimes I don't know the answer until I see it. So I'm gonna try leaving some of this stuff like this for now. I do think that if I do that, I will have to simplify this sun considerably. But I figured, you know, if I'm gonna be messing around with that, I kind of want to get a lot of the background elements that I know I want to exist in there, and kind of feel it out that way. So, my question to myself today was, I want to do the clock, because I think that this is going to be, you know, very, very central. It's right behind her head. And so, like, if I just did her upper body, yeah, this will probably be what the cropped version that I put on some social media, because they dislike portraits, portrait scale things. So I gotta make sure that clock is like extra nice. And right now I think this moon is probably the best part in the background. So I gotta make it this. I have tried many a different color on this clock here, and yellow has very consistently been the best. So I think the color is probably fine. But I have been debating on a lot of the stuff I want to put there. But I think I have some answers. So I'm going to try those and see how that all works out. Hold on, I got an itch on my leg here. Just gonna watch my model freak out for a second here, as it always does when I go at weird angles. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, I'll start there, but oh man, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do there. I just have some thoughts, so I'll do as much as I can, and if I need another day to think on it, which I very well could, then I'm gonna go down to the lower part and draw some trees, because I pretty much know exactly how I want those to look right now. Maybe not 100% of those windows, but most of them. Okay. So, I spent a bunch of time just looking at her various overlays on stream, and just analyzing the heck out of the shapes. And I want to incorporate some of those elements. First things first, I gotta get my multi-brush origin in the right place here. So some of those are gonna be just like little lines and, I don't know, clock-like shapes here. And then I think another part is going to be gears. I would like to put some gears in the clock here. Okay, so hopefully that is sufficiently centered that nothing is gonna freak out. And I won't be sad later. So, the first thing that I want to get is just, I don't know, some little small lines in there, kind of like this. I'm not sure if I want one or two, so I'm gonna try some things. And you know what, while I'm trying things, I probably should not be zoomed in, because I gotta get the big picture here. But yeah, so I wanted to try some smaller lines. I think that today is going to be like a pure science, and I'm just like, I have a vibe I want, and I know that very clearly. You can see it pretty clearly, like over here, and some of the stuff I've got going on here. This is unfinished because I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the stars there or if I'm going to put something else there. I don't know yet. But the vibe is there. Now I just have to figure out what objects need to be turned into that vibe. Blah, 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 blah. You know, it's so funny how easy it is to make patterns like this since I discovered proper use of multi-brush. I used to have to pull so many more shenanigans to do that. Okay. I do like the little line, and I do think I just want there to be one. I think two like this is too much. So let's zoom in and draw the one little line that I want. This being Kronii, I think I'm going to make it a little bit more triangular. And like this part of the clock is going to be totally covered up. But because I'm using the multi-brush here, I am drawing literally every little tick mark that's going to be here. Literally every single one of them at once. Even the ones invisible spots. So I just picked this part to draw in because it's here. So I will be getting it nice and smooth and exactly the way I want it. Even though this spot specifically will be covered up. I kinda have an idea for what I want this to be shaped right. Like, nice and triangular. I still call this triangular because this is just two triangles. That's what diamonds are. They're two triangles. they can pretend to be like some kind of a square adjacent thing, but no, they are two triangles. That's how I see it. I wish I could hide the line. Can I? I unfortunately don't see an option, so okay, I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit more because I want to get this like I want there to be a longer elongated point to my little diamond here, or my triangle pair. Yes, I will call them a triangle pair. And I want there to be a little bit of an elongated point, but I don't want it to be too long. I feel like I say stuff like that a lot. You know, I never really noticed that sometimes it's like, I want to do this, but not too much, until I had kids. Because then my daughter started talking like that, and I was so confused. I'm just like, wait. What do you mean, red, but not too red? Or, cute, but not too cute. Like, what are you even talking about, tiny one? And I'm just like, oh yeah, I do that, don't I? I swear, having kids will make you so self-conscious about how you talk. Because they will pick up on your mannerisms without really understanding anything. And then suddenly they just start kind of saying stuff and I'm just like, the heck are you talking about? Fuck, being a parent is wild. Okay. Little kids are something else. Okay, let's see how this looks. Yeah, I think that's about what I want. Okay. Back to multi-brush. And I think I do want a couple of very, very tiny ones here. I changed my mind. That's going to be happening a lot today. There is going to be so much mind changing, so much of just trying things and seeing how they work. It's going to be crazy. Probably going to drive me a little crazy. But it's okay. I honestly think that the artworks where I just try things and I'm just like, ooh, that's shiny. are some of the most fun to draw, so it should be fine. I might just feel a little silly doing it. But that's... Alright, so there's the first step that I wanted to do. I think I like it. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. A little bit more decorated there. So the other thing that I know that I wanted to put in there is, like, gears of some kind. But beyond that, I'm just like, where do I even want to put these? I don't know. But I don't. That's gonna be my motto for today. I don't know, but I know I know there's something there. But this is why increasingly I'm starting to realize that anything creative is just like raw black magic. It is. And honestly, after spending much time trying to study how to write, I'm just like, you know, I do this all the time when I'm drawing too. Why am I so worried that I'm feeling the same way about writing? Like, is writing somehow a more sacred form of creativity or something? It's like, no, you just have no idea what you're doing, even more than usual, and it feels bad. But don't worry. It'll get better. Okay. Yeah, let's put a little more of a dark area around her head. I think that'll actually look pretty good. Let's see, how do I want to arrange these? Okay, I should put some of these on different layers. Just because otherwise I'm gonna have a bad time, but I just want to figure out a little bit of a layout here, and I think I'd probably have to make some of them a little bit asymmetrical. So maybe like another one here to kind of counterbalance how heavy her headpiece looks. Maybe not there specifically, but the idea I think is correct. Well, while I feel that out, I actually have been thinking about this a lot in regards to writing, since I am trying to write my 50,000 words this month. And indeed, I was feeling extremely awkward about pretty much everything that I was doing for a while, but I don't know, every time I just started comparing it to art and trying to remember how I felt like, yeah, you know, 20 years ago when I was trying to do more trying to get started. It just eventually clicked for me. I'm just like, oh yeah. You know, this actually isn't that far off from what I do with the thing that I am actually good at. So, you know, maybe I am just worrying too much. That's a common personality trait for me. I do it all the time. And it's been a little easier, and also, I don't like this one. Die. I thought I said remove. Go away. I decided I don't want it up there. I don't know. Maybe a small one in the middle? Okay, I'm gonna... Before I do any more, I'm gonna start detailing some of the ones I got here. Because I do like these up against her weird veil head thing. Because I think it makes it contrast from the clock in the background pretty nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna do my usual thing to make circles like this and shrink the selection. I want them to be, they're gears, so I want them to be thick. 50 for something this small seems good. So, do that. It does mean that it's not really showing, but I think that thickness is probably good. These will be the ones that really show if what I'm thinking works well. 50 is not going to be enough. Maybe like 120. Yeah. Oh, wrong layer. There we go. And yeah, I'll shrink it again because I kind of want another little thing in the middle. Or maybe I don't. Do I? I don't. Okay. I mean, I do, but I don't. So, what I'm gonna do... Okay, if I use symmetry with multi-brush, I can do that, right? Yes. Perfect. Okay. I have a vision. Let's see if I can make it work. Here, Kronii, you are in the way, so kindly go over there for a little bit. Thank you. Thank you very much. How am I gonna do this? I'm just afraid of moving the origin. You know, it's fine. It's not that hard to move around. Okay, so back to brush for a moment, and I want to find the center of one of these circles. So I'm gonna take my magic wand and select in there. Then I'm gonna make a new layer. Gonna get a very tiny dot. Plop it anywhere. And use my centering helper to center it inside the selection there. There. Now I have it perfectly centered. Okay. And now I can go back to my multi-brush. And I will center it upon this little dot. Cool. Oh, right. I can't just use B to go to multi-brush. I think 12 is going to be too much here. I think I only want it to be like 4. But let me make sure this is doing what I expect. Perfect. So now I'm getting it in both. Okay, Kronii can come back now. Just because I don't want to waste a bunch of time drawing some stuff that's not going to be seen. I'm also considering that this might be too thick for what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I think I might have overdone it a little. Okay, hold on. I don't think I want to freehand this. I'm being way more precise with the background. I just want to see if I'm thinking correctly. No, better thick. Okay, we're good. That's exactly why I wanted to see, because I wasn't sure if I was. Anyway, I think I only really want like 4 spokes. So I just want little kind of small decoration in here. I'm just kind of deciding where. And what? That's always the question, isn't it? I'm gonna move Kronii out of the way again. Do I want it to be connected? A little bit more wheel-like that. So I can't use the multi-brush with the line tool, unfortunately. So I just kind of have to do my best here. Draw the dreaded straight line. Close enough, since this is not going to be seen from the outside. Or rather, the center is going to be covered up by Kronii. Probably a better way to put it. I'm just trying to get this line as close to symmetrical as I can, but unfortunately I am terrible. So, here we are. Close enough. Okay, and I kind of want it to look a little bit more timey, a little bit more mechanical. So I want to do a little bit more with this. Maybe I should have done all this on a different layer, but it's fine. Thus declares me. No. No. Okay. I'm not going to worry about it just yet. Anyway, one thing that I know I want to do is that these have to look like gears. So I want to adjust... I want to put the little gear teeth on. So I need some more spokes. Six, 7. Okay. And I'm gonna try to avoid having them overlap with these guys, so I'll draw them here. So now we'll get the gear teeth in. And I will get them nice and smooth. So I want them to be a little bit more squared off. This is going to be very sharp. I want, like, no roundness here. You know, normally I'm always talking about how great roundness and cute little curves are. And it's true, they are great. But here, no roundness allowed. None. Must be hard. Okay. This part gets to be round. Like, this is still a circle. But the little gear teeth here, no. No roundness. Not allowed. Okay. I'm gonna lock the layer for a second, and I kind of want to see what it looks like with just a little bit of yellow decoration. I should, you know what, turn Kronii on and zoom out. Just so I don't spend a bunch of time drawing stuff I don't need. Because, you know, that would just be terrible. Do not mind the messiness right now. I don't know. I kind of like this. I told you you're going to hear me saying that a lot today. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm figuring it out. It's fine. It's fine. Some of those shapes are just in a lot of her like chat overlays and stuff. They're just so nice and elegant. Makes me want to hollow out the center. I don't know how to describe it. Let me back up here, but no, for the sake of my composition, having it dark there just feels so much better. And if it's gonna be like that, I actually kind of think that maybe I shouldn't be putting any detail in there. I should just keep it very, very simple. But the other thing I can do, potentially, for a similar effect is that. It's like I have something in mind. It's just a matter of finding the right place for it all. Like, this has the wrong number of spokes now. Let's bring this back down to 4 if I'm gonna do the inside here. I just feel like something needs to something here. And it's always hard when you're just like, there is something, and something needs to something. But what is that something? It's a mystery. But yeah, I just feel like something is not quite right. So I'm just trying to get a good look at some other common symbols and design elements used in a lot of the stuff on her stream. And seeing, I don't know, can I incorporate some of it? Like, do I want the little clock ticks on this? You know, the things that I put around the clock. Something similar. So far, the answer seems to be no, mostly. But I don't know, man. About the only thing I liked was this. But this doesn't feel right either. I'm also not sure why it's not repeating in the way that I expect it. Anyway. I don't know, do I just trace it? Because, like, this is the only thing that comes close, but it's still not right. That's the thing. It comes close, but not quite. And I keep wanting to put lines like that in there, because that's typically, like when I did Inktober, the way that I would make things look detailed is that, you know, I just put little lines like that, because they're easy, they're quick, and they make things look really, really intricate and detailed with, like, 0 effort. So, that's, like, perfect for Inktober, but here I'm trying to be a little bit more deliberate in how I design things. Let's see, she also has a lot of squares. I don't think squares are appropriate here, but that does remind me that, you know, if you think something needs to something, why not try a few triangles? Triangles are kind of the go-to shape in here so far, so if I haven't been using triangles properly, maybe that'll do it. Something about it still just lacks the gearness to me. I don't know, should I make the center smaller? Did I hollow it out too much? Is that the problem? Let's do some science, and I'm just gonna cover it up. Unironically, not bad. Okay, if that's how I want to do it. If I grow it by, like, 20, that's probably gonna mess everything up still, yeah. So I can't really do that, I'd have to... Okay, well, I can do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cover the whole thing. Let's see here. Really should have drawn my pattern on another layer. Alas. This looks pretty close. Yeah, should be fine. I can just fill in the rest. So this time I'll shrink it by, let's do half of what I did before. And clear. And then I can just fill in this part. I will clear the middle here. And I'll draw a similar pattern because I did like it. I just wanted the gear to be a little thicker. And I'm not going to learn from my mistakes, and I'm just going to draw right on the same layer again. Here we go. I thought I only had 4 for this. Okay, maybe I did. I don't know. Little something. I just don't want it to tangent with the veil thing too much. Okay, I'm gonna hide Kronii for a sec again. I'm gonna be going back and forth and doing that all the time today. It's fine. And I'm just gonna try to get the shape that I want here. With maybe a little bit of extra triangle. Because triangles are nice. Triangles are fantastic. And that's probably sufficient for what I'm doing. But yeah, making them thicker was the answer. Okay. So now I gotta do something similar on the small gears here. So I'm gonna select their center now. And I'm gonna take my little dot here. And actually, I'm gonna take my little dot and put it over here first. So that this way I can find the center of that. And now, poke. Boop. Boop. There we go. Okay. So I just need to get the gear teeth on there. These ones are going to be a little more complicated, but I think I can make my life a little simpler by putting in a stroke around them. Just because otherwise the colors are gonna like overlap each other, and I do want them to be separated a little. I don't think it has to be a very big one. Maybe like around here. Okay. Alright, and now I can get my multi-brush again. Move the origin. And put in the teeth. So teeth were 7. I'm gonna keep it 7 here. Whoops, that's right. Okay, and then it's just time to draw them. Here we go. This clock would not be functional, but that's fine. It doesn't have to be. These aren't the gears making the clock work. They're just here to look cool. So, it's all good, right? Okay, and I'm not going to do anything for their insides, because the insides are totally covered up. But I think that works. I don't know, maybe I should push them out a little bit more. So if I grab you and move you like... Okay, yeah, this is going to be one that I have to move too much. So I'm actually going to get rid of its mirror for now. And I'm just going to move this where I think it should go. And then I will worry about getting it over there. I am on the wrong layer somehow. No, I'm not. Okay, that was weird. So I can just place this however I think it should be. I think I will let the pointy part of her shoulder kind of define that. I think that works well. Just let it kind of hang out the crook of her arm there. Yeah, that looks pretty alright. Okay, and then I have to kill the FX here, so I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna copy layer style, turn it off, and merge them. And then paste layer style, there we go. Just so that this way, I keep it as a stroke instead of not. And okay, they have to be a little lower. I cannot let them overlap with this. Oh, well, thank you very much. And hello there, Tamak. Welcome. Okay. I still kind of feel like the gears feel a little symmetrical, so I feel like I need to have some kind of asymmetry in there. I already determined that I don't like it on the head. So where it needs to go is a mystery to me, but I'll figure it out. I don't know, maybe there should be one over here. Let's find out. No. There. No. Here. No. Look, art is hard. I say it all the time. It is quite hard. Okay, if I put you underneath here so I can see the stroke, does that look okay? Kinda, I guess. It's like there is something missing. There is. It's just a matter of what it is and what I do to get it there. And about the only thing that I understand consciously right now is that I don't like the symmetry. So I'm not sure. I think I want to think on it for a little while. I'm just gonna go do something else for a little bit and I will come back to this. So I think that means it's time to draw some trees. So all of these blue window-like things here, I planned on putting a tree in them to represent the 4 seasons, as that is something that has been used to tell time, you know, since humans started doing so, basically. So in order to represent that, I wanted to draw some trees. And I think before I draw some trees, I'm gonna draw a snake. So let's go draw a snake. That is not symmetrical, so here we go. So yeah, I think I have the windows pretty much where they're gonna be for the rest of time. I might put some decorations around the edge here, but probably not much. So I think I can just go ahead and render the snake. Make it all look nice. What do snakes look like? I should look at that. Okay, but I need specifically a cute anime snake, not a real snake. That must be cute. Very important. Okay. Got a good one. That snake is adorable, I approve. So here we go. Seems like the first step to making a cute anime snake is to give it a cute little snout. And, you know, that tracks with what I know, so let's see. If this is gonna be like a little bow on the side of its head, where are its cute little eyes gonna go? I will draw it in the background color for now, but this may change. Let's give it some cute little eyes. Very cute. Okay. That works for me. I think I can probably make them cuter, but You know what? This is fine for a start. So now I can get that cute little snout going. And we'll just have it go, take a little chomp out of its tail. There we go. That is much cuter than what I had before. At this angle, I don't think we can really see the lower jaw very well. I'm not sure how to go about drawing that. Probably something like that, but I don't like it, so I'll just... We'll just put the little tip of the tail in the mouth here. With no particular fanfare. Just little nibble. There we go. A little tiny nibble. That seems pretty good. And then, I mean, you don't have to try very hard to make the rest of a snake cute, because they are just adorable and tubular. So as long as you make them nice and slithery, they will be cute. Snakes don't get nearly enough appreciation, I swear. They are just love snakes. Okay, so that's not totally smoothed out, but I kind of want to figure out the rest, what I'm doing with the rest of the body here. So I'm going to make Kronii walk off stage again. She'll be back later, it's fine. So I'm just going to erase some stuff and kind of figure out what's going on here. So we know that there's a little nom going there, so this body has to kind of come back here. I might put the front and the back on separate layers. I don't know yet. So this needs to come around here, and then probably down like this. And we'll send this part of the tail back behind the windows. Okay, so that seems pretty good. I mean, I know the body's not quite finished there, but that's fine. I'm just kind of trying to figure out where to put things. Want the tail to be a little thinner. Okay. Give it a nice curve. Before I was talking about straights, but now we're back to the nice little curve, making everything much cuter. So this curve has to be good. This is probably the most important curve in this snake. So I want to take the time to make sure that it is just right. Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Got a curve here just a little bit more nicely, but there we go. I think that's going where I want. So let's figure out where this body is going. With the way I'm seeing it, it's kind of rolling on its back a little, so I'm going to send it this way. And it'll go behind this window here. Shave off the rough edges and all that good stuff, and then I think I should be able to get it started. So it's kind of rolling around, which I think is also very cute. Like I said, it's easy to make snakes cute, because snakes are adorable, and I love them. Okay, I think I'm going to let this part of the body go behind, and then it'll start curling up front here. So this will go behind. And this will come in front. I don't want them to both halves of the body to quite touch. Okay, so then this is going to be going behind here, and then back up here. Where I guess it will come in front, which is a little unfortunate, but I think it's okay. And then they'll meet up here. Or, you know what? No. Yes, they will meet up here, but they will meet up here in the back. So that this way I don't have anything overlapping with the head. Okay. So there we go. Snake is twisting around. Okay. So now I just kind of want to make some of these curves nice before I start kind of smoothing everything out. The curves must be nice. The snake must be chunky and chubby and squishable. And I will worry about masking the parts as needed. So let's see. Do I like this little snake? Yeah, I think when I decorate this guy, he's going to look absolutely fantastic. So he's got cute little beady eyes. Cute little chomp. Okay. So let's go ahead and mask it. So what I need for that is I'm going to go ahead and select the windows and their border here. And then I'm going to add a transparency mask on the snake. And that'll cut off everything, which is, you know, more than I want. But that's fine, because all I gotta do is whitelist the parts that I kind of want to show here. Might have to go back over this a few times, but again, it's all good. Although it didn't do quite as well as I thought it would. Like, why are these still showing? Oh, it's all good. I'll go ahead and fix it a little more thoroughly here. Let me get everything showing. In hindsight, I probably should have just made the transparency. Yeah. Okay. So I was saying in hindsight, I probably should have just made the transparency mask first. So I'm going to do that now. So transparency mask. Now I select all the Windows stuff. And then I will paint in black on the transparency mask. On things I don't want to show. So I can be a little bit more particular about it all. Here might be a place I entered a couple of times. Here might be as well. But here should be pretty safe. Okay. So that should be enough to get me started. I might have to go back and forth between the snake and the mask a few times. But there we go. Let's go and smooth out this snake. Man, look at that cute little face. I love him. Love him. I love him. Okay, so now I just need to get everything nice and smooth. I feel like this is sticking out a little bit more than I want. I'm gonna go ahead and hide his face for just a second here. kinda... I don't know. Get that just perfect amount of squishy. Just make this thing look like something that you want to snuggle and just donate all your body heat to. Be better than the sunny rock. If such a thing is even possible. Okay. So I do think I will do its little face now. Let's see, I think I actually want this little bow be a little bit more like right here and turned, and I want to adjust the angle on it a little. I'm gonna pull this part out a little bit, let this part kind of go back. Bring the center a little bit more here so that this way it kind of looks like it's on the side of its tiny little snake head. Where does Boros wear its ribbon anyway? Oh shoot, do I have it on the wrong side? I do. Well, that's unfortunate. It looks better on this side, though, for this picture, so, maybe she's just here trying a new look. Okay. I already have it on the wrong side. I can embrace whatever I want. But it needs to be on the side. Well, does it? I think so, because I think on the other side, Kronii will be in the way. Let me turn her back on. Yeah, Kronii's massive legs in the way if I have it on this side. So I'm gonna put it over here. Okay. Let's get these eyes on a better spot now. Let's see. I had just have all of these things on the face layer, but I think I just want the eyes a little further in here. This one needs to come up a little higher. Okay, and I could probably get away with just making little, like, rectangle eyes if I was so inclined. You know, kind of like this, but on the face. But I don't know, I just think that eyes like this look way cuter. So I kind of want to do it like this. And probably put a quick little gradient and highlight in there. Like, sometimes you just gotta do things to your personal taste. And while eyes, like, just as a quick example, like this, you know, may be cute. Like, I mean, if I drew them better, I'm sure they'd be adorable, but, like, how does that compare to this? So this was an accident, but now I'm tempted to give her little eyelashes. That is not an appropriate place for the little eyelashes, I don't think, but I kind of want to do it now. Okay, let's get this rotated correctly so that this way I can draw some cute little eyelashes on this snake. Why not? I'm just gonna have some fun today, man. I've been writing so many words the past few days. I just don't want to derp around. Gonna see my word count goals just haunt my dreams. But it's so cute. It's so cute. Okay, I'm glad I decided to come down and draw the snake a little. I still don't quite know what needs to happen up in the clock, but I sure do know what needs to happen for a cute snake. Oh man. And you know, it's all good. I need to finish everything eventually. So we could have a nice break and just take my time drawing a cute snake. Sounds good to me. Alright, so I think I've almost got those shapes smoothed out, and then I can draw some cute little eyelashes. Look, I can't say no to the fluffy eyelashes. Fluffy eyelashes are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Let's see. How should they go? Probably something like... Yeah. Oh man, so cute. I think that's all that needs, really, so I'll do the same over here after I do the ribbon here. Unfortunately, I gotta do the ribbon before I can do some fluffy eyelashes here, because otherwise I'm gonna give myself a hard time when it comes to smoothing out this ribbon. And I suppose, just this once, I can think of my future self. It's like, to be fair, the me of 5 minutes from now isn't nearly as much of a future self as I'm used to, but... You know, I think that just means that the me of right now will feel the consequences a little sooner if I do things in the wrong order, so here we are. Okay, I can't draw. Let's try again. Okay, so we're gonna have a little square here for where the ribbon kinda connects together. I want it to be wider on top, so this way it looks like it is starting to angle behind her head. You can kind of see it happening already, or at least I can. I certainly can. So then I draw little ribbon. There. And that's good enough. This works for me. This works for me. Alright, I'll let it kind of hang out there a little bit. Maybe make this side just a little bit shorter. It's a small bow, so I don't want to make it too large. And I will allow it to be round. Round things are cuter than square things. Okay. And then, once again, before I draw the little eyelashes, I kind of want to lock this layer and put in a few details. Yeah, I think the head is going down slightly, so we should see the ribbon like this. I had to think about it for a second. Okay, and I kind of want to put just a little bit of a line around it too. I will not be doing this with the eyes. They are already dark on their own. But this makes sense for future plans, so trust me. You know, trust. Everything I do eventually serves a purpose, and you know, what you see is just like, oh, so that's what she was thinking. I just have to, you know, draw it first. Okay, now I am free to draw the little eyelashes. And ironically enough, that doesn't even overlap with the ribbon anymore. Well, it's fine. I needed to get that ribbon done eventually anyway, so I'll give her cute little eyelashes now. God, so cute. So fluffy. There we go. That is one cute snake. I am so happy. All right, let's make its eyes shine. So I kind of want to get my base blue, which is going to be like here. And I'm just going to use a little gradient to put a little bit of blue in here. Going to be super cross-eyed, which is fine because I think that is also cute. All right, I'm going to kind of work the color back and forth until I am satisfied with the smoothness. I don't want the edge to be super obvious. Okay, and then I don't know, do I want something like that? I don't know, that's just making it look kind of freaked out. So I'll pass, we'll just leave it like this. And I will add just a little highlight. I don't know, that might be too big, honestly. Little highlight. Okay, I kind of want to smooth this out a little bit more, but I think that this shape is perfect. Yep, that is a cute snake. If you disagree, you're wrong. I don't say that often about art things, especially art things that I drew myself, but nah. Snake is adorable and I love it. I love it. It's wonderful. Okay, so now I just gotta get it smoothed. And then I can add all the little details I want. I have some ideas. Fortunately, I can't remember if it was an album cover or something, but something in a piece of art related to Kronii somehow had a really cool thing going for the snake. And I'm just like, oh man, that's like basically exactly what I was planning to do with it. Awesome. At the time, I planned to use more light colors, but not anymore, so here we go. Okay, and I see here that we got some blurriness. Okay, so before I finish off this snake, I'm gonna have to finish off this, because I cannot leave this that blurry. That just looks really bad. I think I'm also gonna make it pointier, so I'll do that while I'm here. I might need to make Kronii get out of the way again. Man, I just cannot draw straight lines. Oh well, what else is new? Let's try again. And yeah, I'm gonna make Kronii get out of the way again. Normally, I don't like to worry too much about what's behind the character, but it's relevant in this case. You know, I think I actually deliberately kept these curved. I remember actually taking some time to do that, so no, I'm gonna keep it curved. I want the top to be a little pointier, though. Man, I really wish I could do all 4 of these at once more easily. Because I want them all to look exactly the same. Like, that is actually legitimately important to me. So I think what I'm gonna do, I am going to kill the side ones here. And then I will copy and paste whatever I do here over to those. And I'm gonna have to do the same thing on the blue part, because they are also blurry from transformation. That's okay. I will do that when the time comes. Because I think I could probably get away with most of this by just fixing the blue part. Since the blue part is overlapping the kind of sky part. Oh, they're not. That's right. I put you underneath. Well, shoot. Okay. I gotta do them both. That's fine. Okay, where's the middle of this? I want to be very precise about this. Okay, so I'm gonna select here. Not yet. I need to make the line first. But I'm gonna make a line. Fairly thin one. Like 2 pixels. I probably should have turned the mirror off for that, but it's fine. Oh, I drew it on the wrong layer. Okay, I'll turn off the mirror then. Okay, so I got my line. Okay, so now I'm gonna center it. Delete everything on the outside. Okay, and now I have a line that is perfectly centered that I can use to find the center of my windows here. I guess I'll go ahead and draw this part now, since I'm here. And now I know where the exact center is. Like, I would have really liked to be able to mirror this more properly, but... Oh man, do I trust myself moving the mirror? I think, you know what? I do. We'll put it right on top of this line. I'm going to invert the color on the line so I can see my center line a little bit better here. Okay, that looks pretty accurate. So here's hoping that I can get this pretty symmetrical. And then I can just use this as a stencil for the outer part. And then duplicate it a couple of times. Okay, so since I'm doing it like this, I'm gonna go ahead and get these ones. And I will just duplicate this one 3 times. Okay. I was very particular about lining this up, because I wanted to be able to draw perfectly symmetrically once it came time to draw the trees. And I still feel that way. I just have to get the window exactly the way I want it before I can finish off the snake, and I want to finish off the snake before I draw the trees. Fortunately, it looks like only this curve is the part that's blurry. So once I get that, like, this all looks fine to me. This does too. So it is just this curve at the top. So once I get that, I will be able to just send it on down. And copy it everywhere it needs to go. That is my hope. Okay. I just want to take the time to get this just right since it will be copied so many times. So I'm just going to take my sweet time here, make sure that it is doing exactly what I want. And I can go from there. I do feel like it is quite close. I just got a couple of little blobs where I just feel like this curve is not curving perfectly. Probably... Yeah, I don't think I have to be too particular, actually. I'm probably overdoing it a little. Like, this isn't by her face. I just feel like the color contrast is a little prominent. So I do want to make sure it looks okay. Here we go. Okay, that should be good. So now I'll do the same for the blue part. Which does mean I will have to get rid of this one right here. And I'll go ahead and get rid of this little stump there. Okay. So now I can just kind of replicate what I just did. And all will be well. I have symmetry turned off. And I just accidentally moved the thing. Okay, please be locked for a moment while I get this. You are not perfectly centered. See, that this is why I was afraid of moving it, because, man, sometimes it can be a time to get it in just the right spot. But I think that this is pretty accurate. I think it should be fine. I want to get the top of this nice and pointy. Okay. And then, once I'm done with this, I'm going to have to go back in and fix the mask on the snake. Hello there, is this? Welcome. Yeah, I'll have to go and fix the mask on the snake because it still has the blurry part. And I do not want any blurriness here. It's not allowed. Thus declares me. Okay, so I do feel like this is a little blobby, but I do have the edge here where I want it to be. So now it's just a matter of getting everything nice and smooth. And then I think I will be ready to go finish off my adorable snake friend here. I just did not like how blurry this edge was, and it was driving me slightly crazy. But now it looks nice and crisp again. So life is good. Life is definitely good. Okay, so that's probably fine. Okay. So now I'm going to start all the duplication. Alright, so let's get this guy over here. I'm starting with the blue ones because they touch each other. Whereas the lighter parts do not. So it'll be easier to place, I think. Oh, well, they did. I guess I don't need more. How awkward. Okay. Well, I'll figure that out in a second. I probably just deleted a little bit too much stuff, but it's fine. They should be touching each other, so I can just fill it in. So I guess I'll send this guy all the way to the edge. And that means I should send this guy all the way to the edge. Okay, I want to be very precise on where that edge is, though. Because I want to make sure it's, like, right just touching. There we go. Go ahead and merge these. I can separate them later if I need to. I can get rid of my line now. And for you, I would like you to go back to the very middle. There we go. Just doing that now before I forget, because that sounds like something I would do. Okay, now I can get these guys over, in theory. I'm a little terrified. Oh gosh. Okay, I am more than a little terrified. I am quite terrified. This looks right to me. So here's hoping that when I draw symmetrically, everything will be okay. Okay, let's go ahead and fill in some stuff here. This will be the first test to see if I royally messed everything up. So, here we go. If I fill in this line and ignore what is happening on the other side, will it be filled in properly? It is the test. See if I did it right. Shoot. This is definitely thinner than this. Pain. Well, I mean, I do have everything symmetrical, so I can still draw symmetrically. And the very middle, Kronii will be covering. Not completely, though. I was trying to give myself an excuse to not fix my obvious mistake here. Okay, but there is one thing that I can do to save myself, I think. I think all I need to do is take these two outer ones, push them 1 pixel, one little push toward the middle, and that might do it. If one doesn't do it, 2 might. Actually, you know, that's a point. I can just check here. Yeah, I need 1 more. Okay, and I'm gonna do 1 on this one. Two. Okay, I think that should fix this and get the windows a little bit more evenly spaced. As long as I apply the same number of pushes to the other side as well. You know, it's just like algebra. Whatever you do to one side, you gotta do to the other if you want things to be symmetrical. Okay. Yeah, it seems okay now. Yeah, these look much more evenly spaced. I do feel like this isn't lining up quite right, though. Okay, I actually do kind of want to fix that. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to go about it. No, I actually think it's fine. Okay. Let's go turn the snake back on. Where are you, my little snake friend? Here we are. Its little, cute little face has just been there floating in the ether for a long time now. Alright, let's go ahead and fix the transparency mask. So I'm just gonna go ahead and color all over the edge of these windows here. Because the whole purpose of that was just to get things such that the edge of the snake would not be blurry anymore. But now it should be good. So I can just paint over the areas that I feel like should not be showing here, and I'm probably gonna have to go back and forth on the mask. That has not changed. But it's all good, I can do that. I'm just thinking about where it's gonna be coming in front again. And where I want things to be hidden. Because its little body is going behind the window. You know, stuff like that. Okay, so it's not all exactly in the same place, but I do think it's probably close enough. So here we go. Let's go smooth out a cute snake. Back to that. Look at his little face, it's so cute. I love him so much. Okay. So this is the point where I need to get, like, every little curve just right. Because I'm bringing it in a place where once I finish things here, it'll be done. And I never touch it again. So that means I can no longer just leave things out. That's probably good enough for now. It's like, no. Nothing is for now anymore. It is now forever. So I'm going to go ahead and Just get everything nice and smooth. Get everything into its final place for the end. The end might not be for a little while yet, though. It's because this background is really quite intricate, and I think it's going to take me a little while to draw it. Such is the pain of wanting to make cool things. It means work. Okay, so I gotta edit the mask here, I can tell. Okay. And now I can just go back to the snake. I guess I'll just go ahead and do this part. It's fine. Okay, so here's another place where I gotta edit the mask a little. This part should be able to go on top. And then this part should also be going on top. There we go. Had just a little bit of residue there. Why is right there, like, blurry still? I thought I fixed it all. Is that... I don't know, man. I think it's probably fine. Okay. I actually think this curve is looking pretty okay. And here, give me just a sec. My nose is rebelling against me again. So let me just kind of clear it real quick. Okay, there we go. Just had some stuff trying to leak into the back of my throat, and then I was like, no. We're not dealing with that right now. That sounds like a terrible time, and I don't wanna. Kinda want the snake to be a little bit thicker here, so... But otherwise, I think this curve looks really good, so I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna smooth out this part that I just added. And that should be good. Dude, every time I scroll over here, I'm just like, man, look at him. Love the little snake. So cute. Okay. Okay, and this is all looking pretty smooth. I feel like everything's going pretty well, and I have ideas for how to handle all the other little effects that I would like to put on this little snake here. So soon. Soon. But I can't mess around with all these little curves. They gotta be cute, they gotta be wonderful, they gotta be perfect. What is the point of drawing a cute snake if you can't draw it cutely, wrap it around something with just all these cute little curves? All the cute little curves. Okay, and I like this part of the curve here. I will smooth it out just a little, but it has an element to it that I find very cute, so I would like the other side to be a little bit more parallel to this. So this part needs to come down just a little bit more here. Before kind of smoothing back up into everything. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think that's a pretty cute little curve. Let's see, I want this part to curve just a little bit more nicely. Really get that snake wrapping around feeling there. Is that a spot where I need to adjust the mask? No, it's not. I just need to shave right there. Alright. Now then. Right here. This is not a cute curve. So, can't have that. Curve must be cute. It's very important. I don't really want to sacrifice a curve that is cute for one that is not, so I'm going to adjust the curve like this instead. And it's okay if I go on top of the stained glass window there. I will just adjust the mask accordingly. There. No problem. And because it's masked, if I ever change my mind and kind of want to adjust some things, I can. I've been trying to use masks more often instead of just erasing things. Since with masks you can get it back, but if you just erase it, you can't. With the way that I draw and as just generally chaotic, and I don't know, I'm gonna try things as it is. I do think that having the option to change my mind is extremely useful to me. So, masks. Yep. Gotta try to use them more. I mean, it's why I started using layers more in the first place. So, there we go. This is just continuation of that. Okay. Time to get this curve perfect. Then I can move on to the next little snake curve. Make it also perfect. Okay, yeah, the head I actually still feel like is pretty okay. So we're kind of getting to the end here, and I think before I do this one, I'm actually going to do the tail. Because this tail, very important. We got to get that perfect little chomp. Oh, my tablet is not responding. Come here, buddy. Okay, there we go. Not sure what happened, but... well, it's all good now, so I guess it's fine. Alright, just... gotta smooth out all these little curves. I do think that the size is good, so it really is just a matter of smoothing things out. And making sure that the curve is all good still. I'd like to keep a little bit of a gap between the window and the edge of the tail. I think it looks nice. Makes it very clear that the tail is going around. I'll be doing some other things to make it very clear that the tail is going around too, but this is the first step, I think. So now I just need to perfect this part of the curve, and then there is a little bump right there that I need to smooth out. But there we go. I think that looks pretty good. Yep, we just got one more little snake segment left. And then I get to derp around with some scales, and I'm very excited. Snakes are so cute. I love them. I love snakes. You can see the effect of the mask here, because like I didn't extend it all the way. So you can see that I can draw like over here and run up against where I put the mask. I find it oddly amusing. Okay. I kind of want to adjust here. There we go. That's a little better. And I think that is a very cute snake. So I am satisfied. So the next thing I want to do, I'm going to see if this works. It might not. Actually, I probably should have a Kronii on while I was doing that, huh? Whoops. Oh well. We'll turn her back on now before I start doing any further detailing. But I'm going to put a stroke on this. This way I can get an easy line going around it. I think this is maybe a little bit too thick. Kind of want to zoom out a little. Don't mind the residue, I'll fix it, but I want to get the thickness of the line right, because I think this is actually too thin. So maybe 21 was actually okay. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. And it's not respecting my mask like I hoped. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Well, let's just expand the mask then and see if that does what I would like. I'm trying to be very cautious here. I don't want to erase too much. I just want to get enough that the stroke that I just put on no longer covers the window. It is supposed to be going behind the window, not in front. So that means I will have to change the shape of that a little, but that's okay. Okay. And I guess I'll just do this now, where I kinda wanted there to be a line between these two parts of the snake anyway, so I guess I'll just plop it in now so that this way it's a little bit easier for me to handle the masking of the window here. And I can get this just right without fear of shenanigans. Very important. I like to avoid the shenanigans when I can. You know, whenever it's possible. Okay, so now I just gotta get it back around this window. And that should be the body of the snake, a little bit more toward my liking. Kronii in the way again. I just can't quite see how the snake is wrapping around here, so I want to kind of get that the way I want it first. And then I will turn her back on. Because I also don't want to over-render and render areas that will just not be visible. Like that is just what we in the business call a waste of time. So I am trying to avoid that if I can. You know, if it's possible. Am I on the snake layer or something? I shouldn't be. No, I'm not. Why are you freaking out? Well, you gotta be this way. Okay, so I think something like that should be good. I'm gonna turn Kronii back on and zoom out, take a look. Yeah, I think that is looking pretty alright. And now I'm gonna make a snake group. Here we go. Because the next step is scales. Let's see if I could find the thing she actually did and kind of taper what I planned to do to looking like that, because I saw something. I remember seeing it. I don't remember what it was for, but I know I saw it. So here's hoping I can find it again. Here's hoping I can find it again. I am not currently having luck, so I might just gonna have to make some stuff up. But it's fine. I think what I have in my head looks pretty cool too, so it should be fine. I was just kind of hoping to find the thing that I saw, but yeah, I can't find it. And I don't want to spend like 10 minutes looking around for it when I can just draw the cool thing in my head. Okay. Such is life. Alright, let's just go. Okay, so I'm just gonna add some snake details here. And the first thing I want to do, actually, is put a dark line around her cape. So, more stuff kind of defining the edge of the body here. Must increase Kronii's presence. Very important. She is the star of the show here, so everything I can do to make her look more impressive is worth doing. You know, it's funny, when I started stream today, I was like, okay, I figure we're gonna be doing clock or trees. So I'll name it that, and yet here we are, doing a snake. I surprise myself quite often. But, you know, I'm gonna have to do the snake eventually, so it's all good. I do want to work on that clock more. I do not think it looks impressive enough. I'm just not quite sure what I want to do with it, and life is hard. So to an extent, I guess I am kind of procrastinating on it, but I am hoping that a good idea will come to me eventually. So I feel like it's appropriate procrastination, and this lower part is important too. So it's not like I'm procrastinating by not drawing, I'm just working on a different part of the picture until some ideas come to me. Perhaps they will come to me in a dream. That happens sometimes. I think I'll do the same with her legs. That will not be symmetrical, of course, because the legs are not symmetrical, but I think I do want this thick outline around them, too. It's just so cute. Every time I see that face. I can't help it. It's just too cute. Okay, then just this part around her calf here. And that should be... Well, no, there's one more line. I had to get the chomp. Okay, no, I'll finish the calf line first. I've already started it. I gotta get the line for the cute little chomp, too. Very important. Okay. So I'm just gonna follow the stroke I've already got. And there we go. Little chomp. I like him. Okay. So what I wanted to do... I'm not gonna go hard on the scales or anything, but I wanted to do something like this. Just wait for it. It'll if it's not making sense yet, it will in just a second. As always, trust me. This isn't quite right. Okay. No. I want to do something like that, but I don't want it to go all the way across. That's the main thing. I don't really want it to be all the way across. So I should go like that from the start. And I want the lines to be nice and thick. We're gonna make her look slightly crispy, like a burnt hot dog on the grill or something. And see if this gets me the effect I want. I don't know, how is that? No, that's still not quite it either. That's still not quite it either. What did the thing in my brain look like? What did it look like? It's like I could picture it fairly clearly in my head. I'm just trying to think of the best way to draw it. Oh wait, I found it. Nice. Okay, cool. Okay. So what I think I'm picturing in my head is actually a little different from what I see there. I think it's more like this. I'm gonna do a small area. See how it works. No, that's too detailed. Less is more. Okay, so that's not it. What about like this then? Get rid of this part there. It's okay, I will try things until I am happy, but no, that's not it either. Humu humu. One of those moments of art is hard. It's just always hard when I can picture something in my head clearly. Yet, when I try to translate it to the page, it's not there, and it doesn't look the same. All I can think. Like, I'm trying to think of where the light is hitting this snake. That, you know, my non-existent light source that I'm not really using, but am only occasionally acknowledging. And it's like at the top, so I'm wondering if I do it like this. No, I don't like it. I don't. Okay, what if I do thick? Like, this is gonna look really bad for a little bit. Don't worry about it. And then I just clear key areas. I'm gonna keep it messy until I know if I like it or not. No, definitely not. That is good for some things, but it is not good for this, so no. I just know I want something there. I want a little bit of texture. I know that to be true. And I want it to be in the lighter areas because I'd say trust me, but I actually want to explain why, and that when things are in light, you can see details more clearly. Because what lets us see is reflections of light. So when things are in a lighter area, we are able to see the details, and as they sink into shadows, we see less. So by putting texture in a lighter area, I'm making it more clear that this is a lighter area, basically. Oh, this actually isn't bad. And so that's kind of my goal there. And don't worry about the stroke erasing. Krita does that sometimes. It's very silly. It's not actually erasing the stroke. So I'm basically declaring right here, lighter than over here, which I'm not convinced is actually true. So I probably want a few more fine lines. Oh wait, that part actually is part of this layer though. So I probably do want a few more fine lines over here. But yeah, I think that this idea is workable. I'll just put a little bit of a hint here. But I don't want it to be very noticeable. And if I taper these lines a little bit better, then I think it'll look good. Let's find out. I told you that today was going to be a lot of science as I try to figure out how to wrangle the last bit of this composition. I wasn't expecting snake-based science, but, you know, it's fine. Snakes are cool. Yeah, and I think as I get these lines tapered nicely, this will work. Okay. I found the answer eventually. And honestly, with most things creative, I kind of feel like that's how it goes. You just try some things, flail, get really mad at yourself, question, and like, am I even good at this? what am I doing with my life? And then you're just like, oh, I did it. Nice. Made everything worth it. I feel that all the time. All the time, man. Honestly, kind of sucks, but the feeling of actually getting it, that's pretty okay. And then being able to finish the picture, and it's just like, yes, I have made the thing. Life is wonderful. Makes it all worth it. This is one of those things that I don't think people viewing the picture will necessarily understand the detail that I'm doing here, but I actually do think it's important to have this tapered off properly. I think it's one of those things where I've especially felt this in my attempts to do animation, where when it's there, you basically don't notice it, but if it's not there, you feel it. Like, something is... When you look at it, just a small before and after, especially, like, you can kind of feel the difference. So even though this detail seems kind of insignificant, I actually do think it's important to get right. I just have these lines taper off a little bit more nicely. This one I actually think I want to continue more toward the edge here. So it might take me a second to get the rest of the scales on the rest of the snake here, but it's all good. It'll look nice in the end. And like I said, that always makes it worth it. This one I think is going a little far out. And here I do want them to kind of stop, but I want some more lines through some of these parts, so I'm going to draw those. It's always kind of hard to add more in some of these spots, but I think it's necessary here. I want the lightest spots, which I think is going to be like around this curve, for example. Here, I'm going to leave them spread out. But like around this curve especially, where I think that things are a little bit lighter, I do want to make sure that I have some of these lines a little bit more dense. So it's the same reason I kind of explained before, where in light areas, you see more detail. So this will have an effect of making this area appear more like it's in light. Just one of those weird tricks of the brain. So I just want the texture here to be a little bit more dense. Okay, but over here, I'm going to keep it a little bit more sparse. And so just kind of like that. Okay. So that's going to be the lightest area. The back here will get a little bit, but they will be thin. Very thin. And not very dense at all. Not very dense at all. Just the slightest hint that something is going on here. But there's just a little bit of scaly texture. Maybe just a little bit more than that. Just a little. And I'm being careful on the edge here because I actually do have some stuff drawn there. This is actually a little denser than I was expecting, but I felt like it needed more. And that actually does look a little bit better to me, so I think the fact that it is so thin is making up for everything else, so I can add a little bit more density. Okay. And then over here, things will get light again. Okay, and I see a little bit of cape that I have to fix here. Gotta get that line going all the way around. Very important. I'm trying to keep it a pretty consistent width, even though I'm not super great at that, but doing my best. Okay, there we go. I think this tip is a little thick, so I'm gonna kind of trim that on this side here. Okay. I'm gonna add, again, the slight hint of stuff going around over here. I don't want it to be too dense there, and I don't really feel like the head needs much scaliness. I honestly feel like anything that I put on here will just make it less cute. I'm trying some things, but yeah, I don't know. I just like the head like this. So I'll go ahead and add some kind of thick lines again through here. And I'll taper them off at the end here. And I think I want some thinner ones over here, just not quite as thin as like these guys. I don't want them to be quite that invisible. Okay, and now I just want to get the density where I want it. And I think something like that should look pretty good once I kind of clean it up a little. But yeah, I think that's where I will leave the snake once it's clean. Let me just taper everything off properly here. Make sure nothing goes too far. I think I have less work to do on this side because I kind of knew what I was doing this time, so that's nice. And there we go. I think that's probably where I will leave the snake. So let's see. Still got about an hour, a little bit less. So I guess... I don't know. I'm gonna stare at the clock for a second and just be like, okay, what do you need? What are you missing, friend? Why do I hate you so? It might just be another case of less is more. Well, thank you very much. It's getting there. I'm close. It's just, I feel like the last few things just need a lot of creative decision making, and man, that's always hard. Definitely the hardest part. But good news that I definitely figured out today is that I think I'm fine to leave Kronii just totally surrounded in light. And actually, you know what? That's an idea. I wish to try something. What does she look like being mostly covered in light, but with a dark stroke around her still? I kind of want to try that. I need to zoom in a little. I mean, so far so good. I think it kind of brings her out a little bit more. Let's see. It's just the question of whether it is too much. Let's see. No, I dig it. I like it a lot. Okay, and I think that makes her a lot more cohesive with the only dark lines I'm using in the background. It's just like, whenever I look at this moon, I'm like, you know, this is perfect. It does not look good outlined. I do not want to do anything more with this. But I was worried that it didn't match her with her light outlines. And I think that this kind of helps bring it together a little bit. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Cool. This does not help me figure out what to do with the clock. But it's fine. Okay, I have a little bit more science I can do. So I'm going to take the blue of this window, and so in my original design, I had the stars over here, and the reason that they were not flipped over to the other side is because I was doing some things, and I realized, hey, you know, having some gears behind the clock might look cool. So I figure I will try that. So let's check it out. I don't know, how do I want to do this? Maybe like a big one in the middle. A small one here. I have to do all this on different layers just because of how I'm gonna do things. Actually, I want this below the border. So I guess that means I'm bringing it down here. That's fine. What is this? Oh yeah, okay. And a small one here. Maybe a little bit lower, maybe something like here. And then another small one here. Oh wait, I can't do these on different layers, or on the same layer. What am I doing? I can merge them later, but I gotta start with them separate like this. Here and here. I don't know. I guess I'll start hollowing them out and see how I feel about it. Sure, we'll do 6. No, 60 is not gonna be enough here. I need like 100. No, even that's not enough. Okay, there we go. This one needs to be less than that, though, because this gear is smaller. 50 might actually be okay, yeah. Gotta need more than 50 for this one, so maybe like 80? Yeah, looks good to me. Okay, I think it's fine if they're all a little bit different. Alright, but let's make them gear-like. So I'm gonna need to find the center of this again. So let's get my dot here. And then certain parts of this might be cleared, like nothing is gonna extend past the border or anything, but I'm just gonna get it drawn for now. One thing at a time here. That's a really big dot. I might want it a little smaller than that. Oh well, we'll see how it works. Okay, and now I'm gonna grab my multi-brush and move the origin to my dot. There we go. Okay, and now I can draw my little gear teeth. Like, I just have a habit of pressing B every time I want to draw something. And it doesn't work with the multi-brush. Because the shortcut for multi-brush is not B. These things happen. So yeah, basically I was thinking about adding a little bit more clockwork to everything, and I was like, you know, it might look good here, so I figured I should try that. Still not sure, but I don't hate it, so I'll keep going. I'll go do the next one, which if I recall was you. Well, thank you very much. I enjoy working on things for the internet. It is a pretty good time. Okay, time to address the origin again. Kronii is in the way, so I gotta get her out of there. And I am here every day. So anytime you want to stop by, I will be here at around this time. Okay. Time to draw the gear teeth here. And I guess we'll see how I feel about it after I get through all of them. If there comes a point where I'm just like, no, the stars are way better, I'll just switch back to that. But I really did want to incorporate more clockwork elements into this, and more gears and stuff. And this seemed like an area to potentially do it, so it's not bad. I think I'll have to move them around a bit, but yeah, that's fine. I could do that. I'll just get them drawn. Okay. Let's just keep drawing them. So the next one, I think, is this one. Go ahead and center my dot. Recentered there. Yes. Okay, perfect. Back to multi-brush. Move origin. Right about there, and back to drawing gear teeth. Here we go. Stop myself from hitting B this time. I'm learning. Okay. I think I want that to be a little bit thicker than this. So I'm gonna extend this a little further out. Yeah, that's pretty good. Multi-brush is so cool. I'm glad that I did some experiments with it, because man, does it make drawing a bunch of symmetrical stuff so much easier. And it's really cool to watch it work. Just, I work on one piece and everything else just follows it, and it is very interesting to see. I really like the way it looks. Okay, this clock is in the way. I cannot smooth my gears properly. Everything is just in the way, man. Okay, I'll go ahead and fill in these little gaps there, but I think that's good for here. I'm actually going to put the clock back, even though it is in the way. I might have to hide it again, but it's fine. I can do that. Okay, next. Next. Okay. And brush. Get the origin in the right place. Clock is indeed in the way. I guess I'll just leave it off for a little bit until I kind of finish what I'm doing here. It's just like, I can't check to see how things look without actually turning the clock back on. So that's kind of important. So I kind of gotta do that. Okay. And dot up here. Select the middle. Center the dot. Okay, deselect. Multi-brush time. Move origin. One last time. And then I'll see how I feel about it. I'll probably have to do some strokes around some of these just to get outlines, but you know, that's okay. That's totally fine. Okay. So there we go. There's the start. Now I'm gonna try to move stuff around so it's a little better. Let's get Kronii back in here. Okay, so what am I disliking about this current arrangement? It is true that I think the inside of some of the gears might need a little something. I felt the same with these ones here, but I wasn't quite able to identify the problem. Okay, so far I think I am liking the gears a little bit better than the stars, at least thematically. So if, in theory, I can get them moved around nice, I think that'll be great. I'll still keep my star template, just in case I decide I want to move it somewhere else. You know, maybe somewhere down here with all my other celestial bodies and stuff. I don't know, but we'll see. We will see. For now, let's see, I'm also looking back down here. I should stop that. Well, nah. I gotta do all these things eventually. So, basically what I was seeing is that the line on the side here is thinner than the line at the bottom here. So I kind of wanted to push everything down just a little bit. And then clear the excess. So let me lower the opacity here. Is that about the same now? Yeah, this is where I want it to be. So now I just clear the excess, which fortunately I have a nice thick line. Kind of help me out, so I don't need to be super precise about it. And it is fantastic. Better. Nope, needs to go down just a little bit more. better? Much. Okay. So that actually, unfortunately, does kind of affect the lines that I put on the snake earlier, which is going to be a little inconvenient with all my scale texture now, but, you know, it is what it is. I'll just have to fix it. It's all good. You gotta fix it, though. I don't want to leave it like this. Oh yeah, and now I actually have that thick line around Kronii, so I don't have to do as much here because it's just kind of there for me now. I do want to make this a little bit pointier, though. So I'll do that here. The cape is pointy. Therefore, its outline must also be pointy. Simple. Sometimes you don't gotta complicate things at all. Okay, then I just gotta clean up some stuff there, and that should be good. And hopefully I didn't totally destroy a bunch of stuff on this side. Oh, looks like we're good. Oh. I have my eraser and multi-brush. Whoops. Fortunately, I didn't have anything going on over there in the upper quarters, so hopefully I did not kill everything. You know, I should make sure. I want to make sure I didn't destroy a bunch of stuff on the snake. Okay, no, we're good. All is well. Thank goodness. Alright. So I'm just gonna clear the excess lines. Kronii has built-in stroke now, so I don't need any of this anymore. That's out there making my life just a little bit easier. It is. It is okay. Probably don't need it around here either. Does mean I will have to fix some of the scales around here. Actually, this part is not symmetrical. So I'm a back up and get rid of my symmetry brush here. Okay, all is well here. And I will still add just, you know, small hint of some scaly stuff happening. There we go. Snake has been fixed. Snake is happy again. Snake, still very cute. I love the snake. Okay. So with that slight distraction dealt with, I want to go revisit my little gear friends over here. So let's see. I think I will make this one a little bit larger and bring him a little bit more even with the edges of everything here. And I'm still not going to worry about things bleeding out. Don't worry. I will properly cover everything up over here. In fact, I probably want to move this border a little bit higher up. Where is the border anyway? I don't remember what layer I put it on. Oh, there you are. You're over here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you, like, to the top. Except... Oh no, I really already have you there, don't I? Okay. Yeah, because I do want this clock where it overlaps to have the clock on top, so this is correct. And Kronii obviously needs to be on top. Snake gets to be on top. This is correct. So yeah, it's in the right spot, which means that I can kind of do what I have planning, what I have planned here. And I'm just going to add... some coloring on the side here. Let me see, how do I want to go about this? It's probably easier via selection. So I'm just gonna come all the way down here. And fill that in. And now everything that was bleeding out will no longer. And I'll do it at the bottom as well. I do plan to do it at the top, but the top is going to require a little bit more shenanigans. Just because the border doesn't go all the way across on the top. So you can see it gets cut off at the clock. So for that, I think I'll just paint manually. Turn on my symmetry tool. I'll go ahead and invert the color of the background for just a second while I do that, so this way I can see more clearly where I have colored. Just gotta find it again. Okay. And so now I will know exactly where I've colored. And all will be well. And now everything that would bleed out there will no longer. Oh yeah, and I guess since I put a stroke around Kronii, I'll have to actually check for things that aren't working. But no, it looks like I kept her pretty clean, so I don't see any just like pixel dirt or residue anywhere. Which is pretty sweet. That like never happens, man. Okay, cool. Alright, let's go fix the background. Oh, I missed a spot. Oh, whoops. Ah, that's fine. No, it's not. Don't be lazy self. That's bad for your health. Go do the thing properly. There you go. Okay, so inverted the color back, and now I can easily move these gears around and still keep everything hidden the way that I want. So now let's go and try to make them look good. I still get the feeling I'm going to be clearing a lot of things in this clock border, so I'm just assuming for the time being that everything inside of that will not be visible. And for the sake of science, I am going to go prepare for that. I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did. Invert the background color so I can see a little bit more clearly. And then I'm going to add another layer of, I guess I'll call it clock arc. Sure, I don't know what to call it. It's fine. Turn on my symmetry and just fill in the areas that I expect to be kinda cancelled out by the clock existing. So I will zoom in and be very precise about it. I don't really want to mess that up if I can help it. Okay. So I'm just gonna head all the way around here. And after that, that should give me another clear idea of how I want things to be. And we'll see if I want nothing behind this clock or if I want something behind this clock. I'm not sure yet. But that's why I'm doing it like this, so that this way I can try some things. And if they don't work out, I can erase it, and nothing is lost. All is well. I can reclaim everything that I did, and I wouldn't be able to do that if I had just used the eraser to do this for me. Did I bleed a little bit over here? No, we're good. I guess that's just shaped like that, okay. Yeah, you're a little weird shaped. I never fixed you. Okay, that's fine. You know what? I think it'll actually be easy to... Ah, I see. I see. So, the way I had this fixed was that I clipped it. Used a clipping mask to get it there. So I'm gonna actually take this out of the layer group and fix that immediately. So yeah, it was just clipping before, and the way Krita's layer masks work is that it will clip to everything in the same group below it. So in this case, I was now putting a bunch of extra color below that clipping mask, and so it was starting to bleed out of the area that I actually wanted it to be clipped to. So I just remove it from the group and everything is back to normal. It doesn't have to be in that group. It's slightly convenient for it to be in that group, because then if I ever hide the clock, then this layer would be hidden as well. But I want to be able to use my clipping mask properly, so I will just do it like this. I can handle one extra click to hide my clock. All is well. Okay. So there we go. Okay, nope, there's a little bit more, and in fact, with the way this is, I should probably color it from the other side, because of the big ol' second hand on Kronii's weird helicopter headpiece is covering that spot, so I want to make sure everything is covered in here. There. Should be good. And at some point, I'm going to have to go and square off some of these things. Like you can see, this stroke on the helicopter headpiece here got a little bit round when the original is quite square. I will have to fix that, but I think I will do that a little bit later. I want to wrangle the background a little bit more today. I will save that for a day when my brain says no. Okay. Oh yeah, and this looks so much better with this just completely covered like that. So I approve strongly. And now I know exactly where I should, or what space I have to place gears. So I'm still thinking about where these things need to go. I think something like that should look pretty good. I guess this one is kind of redundant now. We barely see it at all. Oh, there's a little sneaky guy right there that still needs to be filled in. Okay, I'm gonna invert the color on the background one more time, and I'm gonna fill it in on the other side, where there is presumably no weird clock headpiece blocking my way. There it is. Oh, don't have symmetry on. There we go. Fixed. Okay. So I'll just put a little bit there. You can barely see it, but I think I like it. And I don't know, I feel like these guys might need a little bit more detail in a particular way, but I'm not quite sure how yet. Kind of like what I did on this little star here. When I initially drew them, you can see in the lower opacity ones that there was nothing in the middle. But I think it looks much better with stuff in the middle there. Better than these ones. So I'd like to do something similar. I'm just not quite sure what. Art is a mystery. And I need to solve it. All there is to it. I actually think I'm going to make the big gear just a little bit smaller too. Adjust all the smaller ones accordingly. There we go. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. It just needs the thing, and I don't quite know what the thing is. Art is hard. So, okay. I'm gonna take my dot again, and I'm gonna put it in the middle of this guy. And I'm gonna bring out the multi-brush again. So first we'll center my little dots. This way I know where to put the origin. Come, dot, be centered for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now then. Okay, that is sufficient information here. Go ahead, move my origin again. And I'll see about putting some details on this gear. And we'll see if I like it. I feel like that's like half of today. Just, I don't know. Let's try a thing and see what happens. I don't know what to expect, but it'll be okay. If I don't like it, I'll just try something else. I'm a little afraid to be doing all this on the same layer, but I don't feel like making another one, so here we go. Okay, I'm gonna go look at some pictures of gears. I am just going to look at some pictures of gears and see if they give me any ideas. I'm also going to look at her character design, and I'll get rid of my multi-tool for a second for that, and see if it gives me any ideas. I never realized just how many heart shapes are in her design. It feels very funny to me, just knowing what Kronii's like. I wonder if she thinks they're cringe. I don't know, maybe that's what I need. More hearts on her clock to make her cringe. Okay. So, nothing with this particular search. Let me do a slightly different one. Okay. I have thoughts, and I'm gonna be good and not draw on the same layer. I am scared, because I know, you know what, I was here talking about hearts, but I don't think I actually want anything heart-shaped. When I think of shapes in a Kronii character design, I think of just ludicrous amounts of triangles. So, let's try some triangles. I guess I should be a little messy about things, just because I don't know if I'm going to like this. And then maybe some slightly smaller teeth that do absolutely nothing, but perhaps look cool. I probably will not do this for every single gear, but for this big one, I think it'll be okay. I want this one in the middle to be a little bit bigger. I don't know, do I want some triangles on this part too? No, no. I don't want triangles in that part. This part, it's kind of okay, though. Now I feel like it's losing some of its gearness. Circle's good, though. Circle is a keeper. I'll just pretend like I can draw that straight line. I'll make it do it proper later. I'm just trying things. So it's okay to be a little bit messy for a little while longer still. Ah, hello there, Ku. The feet for a dress. I'm not sure I follow. I am just trying to wrangle the background of this. I drew the feet a long time ago. They are done. Ah, hello there, TJ. Thank you very much. I have been working hard. I'm just trying to get the background working. Here? You think so? I don't know. I don't see anything very toe-shaped here. I'm not sure if I like these triangle bits. They were okay, but yeah, I think it looks better just simple. I just feel like the gears back here need a little something, but I don't know what they are. That's kind of been the story of today. I don't know, man. I don't know what you're seeing. Like I said, feet down here. They have been done for quite some time. So now I'm just trying to figure out the background. And I wanted to add some more, like, clockwork and gears to the background here. So I'm just trying to figure out how to make this do what I want. Because I just feel like it needs a little something. I don't know. Oh, on my torso? I don't know. I mean, my model does have feet, but they're not on screen. This is... It's just chest up. Well... Don't feel like you have to stay up on my behalf. Sleep is important. I hope you're able to sleep well, and thanks for stopping by. Okay. I don't know, does this look any better now? Or more triangular? No, it just really doesn't work. I do think I just gotta keep this simple. Maybe just a couple of circles will be enough to do the job. If I'm gonna do circles, I'm not gonna try to draw them like this. Oh no, I'm drawing a picture. Yes, I am drawing some fan art. But don't worry, I understand. Words are hard. Especially when you're sleepy. No, I actually don't really like the curved lines, and I don't like triangles, so... Yeah, maybe just some concentric circles like that is all it needs. Let me take a look. So that's rough, and if I do circles, I can do them much better than that. So I will not draw them manually. Yeah, I might do that on the big clock. For these guys, maybe not so much, but on the other hand, I kind of also like her big stupid headdress being the thing for the clock, but I don't know, man. It's okay. It'll come to me. I just gotta try things. I do feel like today went pretty well, though, because I got to draw just an adorable snake. I love snakes. They are wonderful. So, now it's just a matter of wrangling the rest, but you know that this might be all it really needs. Now that I look at it, it seems fine. So I guess I'll just do the same pattern that I do here. Just here. Okay, yeah, seems good to me. Let's go ahead and make this actually look good. Okay. Humu. So I already have a multi-brush centered there correctly. So can I just... No, that's a bad idea, isn't it? Okay. I use normal brush. But similar idea, so let's see here. How do I want to try to get this centered? It's true. I wouldn't call it unique to VTubers. It's fairly common in, well, a lot of anime-based stuff. I see it a lot in games as well, and it took me a little while to get used to it too. But now I kind of understand where they're coming from, and I don't know. You get used to it. I think that's the best way to put it. Okay, good. I think I made it just a little bit too small, but yes, I can see the center well enough here. But yeah, you get used to it. And once you start getting used to it, it becomes a little bit easier to draw. I used to be very averse to drawing it. I have some... The one that comes to mind immediately, I have some very old fan art of Tallulah from Arknights. And... I did not want to draw the weird antenna hair, so I didn't, and it just doesn't really look like her. So, if I were to ever redraw that, that would be like one of the first things I fix. I keep being very afraid to get all the way to the edge. A little bit bigger. I want to make sure that this circle is pretty close to perfect and perfectly centered, because it'll make my life a little bit easier for what I'm trying to do. Not quite to the edge. Oh, well, that'd be fine if I just wanted to draw the outfit. But I want to draw her. Okay. So I want this to be a fairly thin line. So I think I'm only going to shrink this by 6 pixels. No, that's too thick, actually. Okay. Let's do 4 then. Better? Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, and now I'm just gonna keep shrinking this selection and going back and forth between filling it in and deleting things. And then I should get something pretty cool. I like doing this. That's how I got the clock. Okay, so let's see. How far apart do I want this next one to be? Not that far, but a little distance. Well, she is supposed to look impressive, so that makes sense. Let's see. This one I want to be pretty thick, so I will do... Let's do a solid 20. Yeah. This one I want to be a little far away, so 12. I can. Not as well as her. I got nothing on Kronii, but it is possible with my tracking. Technology is wonderful. I think I wanted a little closer than that. So I'll shrink it to, let's do 8. Yeah, that looks good. Do I want this to be close or far apart? I think I want it to be kind of far apart. I want there to be like a... No, I want this one to be close. I want the next 2 to be close, I think. 6. So, let's see. This one is going to be real close. So, 4. Fill. Sure. 2. 2. There. So that'll be the first one. But now the selection is starting to get a little bit less round than I want, so I'm actually gonna merge this. No, I won't merge it yet, but I will make a new layer, and I'm gonna have to center the circle again, but it's fine. I'm not going to attempt to center it when I don't have the edge to help me, but I have other ways to do that. So it's all good. About how far away from the edge do I want this to be? Right about here, I think looks good. Well, I mean, to be fair, if you're watching a particular VTuber, I don't think it's that surprising that YouTube would recommend you, someone making fan content of said VTuber. So I don't think that's much of a coincidence. YouTube just had a hunch that you might be interested in stuff related to her. And I sounds like they were correct. I will have to go soon, though. I think I'm probably gonna go after I finish the decorations on this particular gear. Oh wait, I said grow. I need shrink. Unfortunately, I got some stuff to do. Life is hard. Sometimes I wish I could just stay here and draw all day, but I have responsibilities. No, that's too thick. Let's try 4. Actually, I think even that's too thick. Let's try 2. Yeah. Okay. It's fine. I mean, conspiracies are a fine hobby, as long as you don't let them get to you. 24, way too big. Let's try 14. I think even that's a little bigger than I want. I will try 8. Yeah, there we go. That's good. I'll put this one fairly close, so maybe like a 6. Where I start my next line. What am I doing? Oh, I accidentally grew the selection instead of shrinking it. Okay, fair enough, me. I can tell I'm getting tired, too. Okay, and I think that's good. And yeah, that looks fantastic. I approve. So next time, I'll finish off the rest of the gears here and get them copied to the other side. And... you know, I think it's gonna be the same. Do we do clock? Do we do windows? It's a mystery, even to me. So I will figure that out, but I gotta stop here because I have things I need to do. So there you go. There's progress for today. So, you know, thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. Or tomorrow if you're about to go to bed. You know, whatever works. I will see you all tomorrow.